Do you ever feel like we're gonna get too old to wear jeans, like ripped jeans?
Yeah, there's the point.
When do you think that point happens?
Maybe like 40.
40? Do you know any celebrity that's like a sex icon guy or gal that's not sure. J-Lo can wear like hip people like J-Lo.
But
Apparently I don't know any other celebrities than J-Lo.
okay, so celebrities are the exception though, because
We have a podcast.
we're celebrities.
We're on a top 3,000
Because I feel like normal
at least.
people, if you see a normal person like picking up their kids in ripped jeans that are probably in their 40s, they look like they're trying too hard.
A normal person in their 40s, you said?
I don't know. Maybe, well, what do they say? 40s the new 30s, so maybe 50. I don't know.
I think everything has to come down to
I'm also really bad at telling people's ages, so I feel like there's some people that I think are
Really?
like 30.
Really? I'll go like we're hanging out with your friends and I was like, "Oh, how old is she?" Like she like 2 and you're like 2?
Okay, kids is another story. You can tell kids' ages, but I mean like adults.
Mm-hmm.
I always think they're younger than they are, which is a good thing probably.
I think the only time it's awkward when somebody over the age of 30 is wearing like hip, edgy clothing. I think it's only noticeable if they truly, that's not them. Like you.
But how do you know if it's
well,
a stranger?
If they're a complete stranger, like you could, let's put it this way. If a dad's picking up kids is wearing a polo from Costco, it says like Kirkland signature on it. But then he's got these American Eagle ribbed jeans or buckle ribbed jeans.
Somebody sold him on something.
He's like, I'm trying to pull him off. It's like that scene from How I Met Your Mother when Ted got the red cowboy boots.
Yeah, pulling them off.
Pulling them off. So I think, because I've met guys that are in their 40s that, like David Seymour, he's one of our friends. He is a guy that's like, early 40s, and he just dresses like as cool, not the same style, but like as cool as like Johnny Depp or something like that. Like he's pulling off all these things but that's him. Like, and that's always been him. He's always been like the shoes were right and the jeans were right and the shirt was right. And maybe he had like a bracelet on too. Like there's the hair had even some
I guess
salt
you
and
have to
pepper.
know how to put things together, and then it looks more effortless, and then people are like, ooh, I like that outfit. Versus, yeah, like if somebody's, I guess you could tell if somebody's trying too hard, but I don't know if there's an age that it's like you need to not be doing that anymore.
Now I think about because there's certain things like bracelets, right? You can accessorize with bracelets as a guy in his 40s, and you can make it just right. Like if you're this San Diego dude, you're 42 years old, you're working at a tech company, and you've been surfing your entire life, you have a bracelet on probably your ankle because your daughter made it for you or something like that, or you have a couple of bracelets that you like to collect. Yeah, you could totally do that but there are certain things like, I think the jeans that I'm wearing right now from Buckle, I think these are the edgiest jeans that I have.
Yes.
You agree? Are
Uh-huh.
you against them?
No, I like them.
You're for them. But these are definitely the jeans that I couldn't. I mean, here, we'll show it for the camera. This is just inspiration for people to go watch it on YouTube to see what these jeans look like.
Now stand up and touch your toes. You gotta
Yeah.
get the real.
If that will convert us viewers to go from listeners to viewers on YouTube, I'll twerk on camera.
That will be a clip.
Yeah.
Alex, stand up and touch your
And
toes.
then cue the segment for the next 3 seconds of me twerking now.
By the way, I feel like we're probably like 50% of our podcast we start out with something about clothes.
No, it's not. No, I think you're only recalling the 2 of which we've ever.
There's at least 5.
There's that one silly looking plaid shirt that you have that we were spoke about, and
The
there's
scarecrow
like,
shirt.
The
Is that
scarecrow
what
shirt.
you
Oh, I never
called
called it
it?
that. You called it that.
No, you called
I
it that.
think.
I'm sure there's a podcast out there.
It doesn't matter. First of all, don't call me out on public
Yeah.
in public here. How
It's
we
on
start these
record.
podcasts.
It's on record.
If you have a better way to start these podcasts, you let me know. Do you have
Well,
one?
I was going to say I brought my coffee today because this is probably the first time I've drank coffee at like 2:00
let me
during the day.
I'm drinking coffee as well.
Yeah. Coffee.
Let me get into that in a second because
With
I
ice?
want to finish my thought here. So if you're a guy like in your early 40s, maybe even mid to late 40s, and you're doing that's part of your lifestyle, and it's small little things like, deep V-necks. But again, a certain way, you're always walking around barefoot. I get it. But there are definitely certain things that you just cannot do. You like these jeans are definitely there's
Right.
not a 45-year-old guy out there who naturally pulls this off. It's as
Maybe
it's
by
as
the time you're 45, it will be different though.
oh 100%. Listen,
Because I feel like for women, I think women could probably wear like ripped jeans like this for a long time.
well, those are subtle, because those are mom jeans with the ripped stuff on them.
yes.
Are they not mom
They
jeans?
are- well, that's what they. I think there's a new name for them.
Is
They're
it-
just high rise.
Because mom jeans are offensive.
Yes.
To the non-moms.
Because yeah. What about the
To the
non-moms who are
non-mommers.
wearing the jeans,
I think
high waisted?
I think I have up to my mid-30s to be able to wear these kind of jeans.
So what? 2 years?
Probably yes. That's 2 more years, then I'll be mid-30s, and then
I would
1
say
week
until
and 2 more
40,
years.
yeah.
But then after that, it's like I have to wear, if I still want to be somewhat trendy, I have to wear like just dark denims or a very
Or like a washed, like
washed, yeah,
a faded.
the Tim
kinda-
McGraw jeans, where they're just like basic, they're not rhinestone,
yeah.
they're just. Would you argue that the ripped jeans are the equivalents to the rhymed, like
Rhinestone?
rhinestone
It's
jeans?
Rhine
Yeah,
with an N.
Rhine.
Rhinestone.
Ryan's Stone.
Ryan's
jeans.
stone.
Would you say it's
jeans.
equally like compatible in terms of two? Because people who are
No,
wearing
ripped
rhinestone
jeans, I would say like have a more of an edgy look. Rhinestone is like extra.
What would you call it? Come on, be honest.
What?
The guys who wear like rhinestone jeans. Come on,
I don't know.
call him out. Kyle doesn't wear it. Don't worry, he's fine. What,
Rhinestone jeans.
Yeah.
I actually have never seen anybody like.
yes, you
I
have.
haven't.
You've never seen a guy in rhinestone jeans, like a True Religion style jean.
Not since I was like 18.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Metro? I don't know. What do you call
No.
those guys?
No, that's not even a word anymore, by the way.
That's true.
I've not heard anybody call anybody. Metro used to be a word that we used when I was a kid, for sure. When I was a kid, I mean like when I was 18, 19. Those, you have those guys with deep
I think that's
Vs,
why I thought of
skinny
it.
G's, they're Metros. I don't know the last time I've heard the word Metro.
I think that's why I thought of it because it's the only time I've seen people wear those kind of jeans. Like even teenagers now don't wear. Nobody wears those jeans. Those type of jeans.
That's
Have
not
you seen
true.
people?
Yeah, rodeo guys might wear like the Hispanic dudes in the rodeos.
With the rhinestones?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, here's what I've noticed, and I don't want to be a jerk about it, but I've seen like the population, because when I was younger, the population that was wearing those rhinestone jeans were these like 18, 19
Yeah, it was a
dudes
different-
with faux hawks and really tight shirts and those
deep
rhinestone,
Vs.
and then Aldo white loafer
Mm-hmm.
shoes with that. Those were the douchebag stuff. And hey, I was one of those douchebags. Let's be honest. I think I had
You
a
had
pair
a white pair. Of
I had a white
shoes?
pair that was gifted to me. I had a white blazer that was gifted to me.
White
I dated a
blazer.
girl who dressed me like a douchebag. Let's put it that way. And so,
And you went along with it.
and what are you gonna do? Like, oh, you're buying me clothes? I don't have to go buy the nice clothes. Because what
I'll
ends up
wear
happening is like when you're broke like that, you're spending the money to go on these dates,
You've
and then
already,
you have
yeah,
no money to go buy
extra
clothes.
money for
so
clothes.
the girl's like, all right, I'll buy you clothes, kind of thing. So and then there was this period of nothing has happened in terms of like rhinestone jeans, and then I caught in the wild a few people, and then I realized, that's the next demographic. It's super trendy Latino guys who are wearing these designer True Religion, but they have like rhinestones on them, and they have a fancy belt buckle because they're kind of Western. They get
yeah,
a little
yeah.
Westerny.
Yeah.
They'll have a really fancy belt buckle, like a
think
rodeo style,
yeah.
and then they'll have a white cowboy hat, and then really, really fancy, like bougie style cowboy boots.
Yeah.
That's
I guess
the
I have
demographic.
seen that, but very rarely.
You just wanted me to say it because you thought it was culturally
Rhinestone,
appropriating
yeah.
somebody.
I don't want to get in trouble for it. You're going to get in trouble for it.
Well, I go head first on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well,
um,
YOLO.
so that's my two cents, my hot takes on.
Well, yeah, I don't own a lot of ripped jeans. I don't know. I think I went through a phase in high school
Yeah.
of everything was ripped jeans, ripped. Like I wore the little jean skirt that was like all ripped up.
That's hot.
Don't want to bring it back.
Bring it back, baby.
But you know what I would do?
But bring the same one back.
'Cause
So
I
it's a
wasn't
lot
allowed.
smaller on you now. You know what I mean?
Excuse
It's
me.
a lot shorter. You know what I mean? Not waist wise. It's a lot smaller.
Like you're-
I see where you took me.
Excuse me?
You took me there. I didn't want to go there.
You
took
went
me
there first.
I didn't want to go there. I was like, hey, let's not go
You
there.
went there already.
I was like, hey, I just want to stay here. This is a nice place to be.
No, but here's the thing. I would wear normal jeans or whatever I was wearing, and then pack that skirt in my backpack because my parents didn't let me wear like. In fact, it was actually my grandma. My mom, she was not as like strict about that, but my grandmother who lived with us would hide all of our ripped jeans and our like short skirts in like there's a special drawer in the laundry, and she thought we didn't know about it, and she would just hide everything in there.
Okay.
And then she thought we didn't know, and so we would come downstairs because she would like do the laundry.
And how old are you at this point?
Like
Teeny bopper? Like
15,
13?
16,
Okay.
yeah. And so like before school, I would like wear my just regular jeans, put that in my backpack, get to school right before the bell rings, go to the bathroom, change, and then
Did your friends ever ask? There's a lot to unwrap here. But
I
did your friends ever go? Did your friends go, hey, why does Irina always have like clothes in her backpack? Like, why does she always have a pair of pants?
Well, no, because who would look in my backpack?
You
left
like,
your backpack in your locker,
right? But you never went like, oh, let me get my homework out, and some like one of your
No.
girlfriends like, oh, like chatting with you by
No,
your
because
locker.
you always had a binder. You don't like we didn't carry our backpacks around. Did you guys?
No,
we had to leave it in the locker, so
Yeah.
nobody saw like what was in it.
Well, I would imagine like somebody's like walking.
I also feel
talking
like
by your locker.
yeah, I think I like changed before like even
No.
hanging out with my friends. So like, hey, I've been wearing this all morning.
Interesting. So let me ask you this: what did your grandmother, your Ukrainian grandmother? By the way, she listens to this podcast, so shout out to Baba,
Valentina.
to Baba, Valentina, Baba Valentina. Did she ever have like this like classic hardcore Ukrainian line that she would be like "Що це таке?" Like, did she ever do that kind of stuff on you?
No, she would tell us, why are you wearing this kind of ripped stuff? This is like what poor people wear.
Yeah.
We came from that.
Grandma was bougie.
No, she was basically saying in Ukraine, people like we couldn't afford clothes, so that's what we would wear.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you couldn't afford like nice jeans, why are you wearing ripped up jeans? Like she couldn't fathom that. It's like the whole concept of our parents didn't understand like old like when you bought that Ford and restored it or restoring it. Yeah. Like our parents don't understand that like buying an older thing is like vintage. They're like, why would you buy that old thing when you can buy a new thing? Like we came from poverty and we like that was all we had. And so coming from that, why don't you buy like a new Ford, you know? And so for them that it's too recent for them for it to be like a vintage item or like retro or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And so I think that was with my grandma. She was like, this is like what we came from. Why would you be wearing this? And also, obviously, the short skirts. She didn't want us wearing short.
Now, I get the short skirt part, for sure. But the whole ripped jean part, there has to be... And I'm surprised, because my parents said the same thing about ripped jeans. But would you not look at a pair of jeans and be like, oh, no, those are dirty and worn out? Maybe they're ripped.
You could, yeah.
Because, listen, let's be honest. Every pair of work jeans... Before Mr. Build It really took off, I was kind of just tinkering with different projects in the garage. I had a 64 Ford that I was like working on, so I'm constantly tinkering in rusty parts. I had a 76 Yamaha motorcycle that I was rebuilding. So I was constantly tinkering with stuff, and I would work for my workwear. Right now, we're all Ariat. Shout out to Ariat. Thanks for equipping me.
Ariat.
But before that, it was jeans, just blue jeans. And every pair of blue jeans, when they were worn out, the way it happened, it was never a tear on my knees. It was a rip on the inside of my leg, on the
Where you would squat.
where you would squat.
And it would just
what
go
was this? Is this? That's not a hamstring. What is this? The inside, the thigh, the inside, inner thigh. On the inner thigh, every jean, inner thigh to crotch. That's where every one of my Levi jeans would rip.
Really?
Every one of them.
See, it's only kid jeans that rip on the knees because they fall.
Because
Like,
they run
adults
and
don't
they
do that.
skid on it.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
It goes from green
On the
grass. Hey, when's the last time you saw green grass markings on my jeans? Never.
Never.
When I was 10.
When you were, yeah. Seriously though, I think also so much of it is the culture in. Obviously, our parents or mine are from like more of a small village, so they weren't like well off or anything. They were like basically making by.
Well, you're making it sound like mine were very
No,
well off.
I was talking. No.
Well, look at what that's.
Yeah, excuse me.
That's a
I don't know what
defensive
I was just saying. Like my parents, because I'm not sure your parents were
We grew up the same way.
same. Yeah.
I mean, did you
Anyway.
guys have livestock?
No.
And yeah, neither did we. We grew up the same exact way. What are you talking about?
Anyway, but like in the actual city, and I think the culture is the same in Russia and Ukraine, people do not go out in their sweatpants. People do not wear slippers out to Walmart. Obviously, there's no Walmart, but like to the store.
Yeah, tell them. No, come on. I want you to get geared up on the. Tell them, because I've been trying to tell them, and they're not listening. Tell them.
So my parents, they came from that culture of always being put together. Like I didn't own a pair of sweatpants until I actually bought my first pair when I was a teenager because all my friends had them. And I remember even pajama pants. Like people wore them to school as like a thing. Did you guys do that?
Yeah, we did. I
High
never actually. My parents would never actually let me do it. Because I never actually.
My mom only let me every once in a while. She's like, "Why are you wearing pajamas to school?" But it was like we would have pajama day.
No, actually, I didn't pay attention enough in school to be like, when is pajama day? I'll be completely honest. But
Even in high
also,
school?
I've never had a pair of pajamas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to go out and buy a pair of pajamas. I remember from like Abercrombie.
Oh, you poor soul.
Because I'm like, ooh, I need a pair
I
of
woke
pajamas.
up like
ooh. I have like this cute sweater on and my pajama bottoms.
Fur sweater. That's how you
Yeah.
sleep in fur.
I just woke up like this. But where I was going with is like our parents were never grew up that way, and the culture is not that way, and so like ripped jeans were probably not a thing. Yeah, like even wearing sweatpants, like I said, slippers, just like dressing down and casual wasn't a thing. So that's why like it was always, you had to be like to the nines when you like left the house.
Right. And there's also an argument to be made that before, when people would travel on airplanes, and this is in the United States, this is not in Russia, that when you would board a plane, do you remember like Home Alone movies? You could
Everybody's
watch
like in a suit
they're in a
traveling.
suit, they're dressed to the nines, and now you get on the airplane,
Everybody's in
people are
PJs.
bums.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I want to be comfortable in
Yeah.
this flight. And I'm like, I have to look at you. Stop. And you know, it's funny though. This is funny. Like, I'm glad that we're going this rabbit hole. When was the last time, and I hope you know this, that I actually was open to the idea of having like sweatpants-ish jogger pants at home, like loungewear? Because I've always and we've been married for 9 years, and I've always woken up dressed in jeans, in a t-shirt, in a whatever thing.
Right away.
Dressed
Yeah.
for the day. I never woke up, put some basketball shorts on, lounge around, eat cereal, and then go get dressed because I need to go do something. I've always been kind of ready for the day, and that's the way my mom raised me. Mm-hmm. But
We were that way too. Like if you're
Right.
getting up for the day, you need to be dressed. You cannot
Right.
be in your pajamas, you know,
Exactly.
coming downstairs.
so when was it the
Sneeze.
last time that I had, do you feel like that you saw, because I know this time, when I really kind of changed my perspective.
In the
and I was
last
like-
year?
In the last year,
Yeah.
that I finally went and bought.
But they're cute.
I'm officially proud owner of 3 sweatpants. And
But they're cute because they're joggers and they're like
Yeah,
tapered
they're
at the
tapered,
bottom.
sure.
So they're like, they're not just like these like.
Hey, I'll put a link on my on my
Like
website,
Amazon?
on Amazon link. So
They're
if you guys
cute.
want to get it from your hubbies, go for it. Here's the thing, I truly believe in this line that looking good, feeling good.
Yes.
If you feel, if
Looking
you're
good,
dressed
feeling
well, and you don't have to do like, I'm not talking about like go put your makeup on, but like if you're just dressed for the day and you're wearing nice clothing,
You're ready to like. It's like motivation.
right. You threw a fist up in the air and like a punch.
I was gonna do this, but I didn't want to hit the microphone because you would yell at me.
And I appreciate that. That's very But
You're welcome.
if you
Yeah.
do that, like you kind of, your brain is functioning. You're like, okay, what can we do? But if you're dressed in what would be considered just loungewear, your brain goes there as well.
Yes,
But,
it is. It's a mental shift
But
that
going
happens.
to the store dressed like that?
I don't think I ever have. I mean, I've obviously
You
worn
embarrassed
yoga
me
pants.
today. You dropped off the kids in slippers today.
I know, but I didn't get out of the car.
Bunny slippers. I'm kidding. You didn't embarrass me.
I didn't get out
They're
of the car.
cute. They're cute little slippers.
My little Tinkerbell slippers.
Tinkerbell. That's cool.
I only do it if I'm in the car,
Mm-hmm.
but also the only time I really go out in like it's like my yoga pants, which they can be kind of cute.
Mm-hmm. Which
too.
you guys fashionize that
You
thing.
wear them with like some cute
Right.
boots and a sweater, and then yeah, it's cute.
And now you're a basic chick.
Yeah,
You just gave a
Chick.
recipe.
sure,
Yeah.
exactly.
It rhymes with
you just have to have a
ish.
top knot.
Yeah.
and what's
You
the
guys call
other
it a
thing?
top knot now? I thought it was just an like a
Messy
updo or a
bun?
messy bun.
Well,
Top-
top knot. I guess that's true. Messy bun is when it's like messy. Top
This
knot
is the
is
argument
when you
that I'm
like.
having with her. Is about, what do you call
A top knot is like when it's like tight and it's like up here. And it's like the ballerina style.
Okay,
It's more of like a top knot.
like we're talking about like Tinker, not Tinker, wait, you said
Yeah.
Tinkerbell, but Cinderella.
like
not
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell. What is it? What is that play? The Nutcracker with like
Yes.
the girls that are coming in
Yes,
with
that's the top knot is the
Mhm.
ballerinas.
all
Yeah.
the Ukrainian chicks up
Yeah.
front. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the
Nope,
song?
not at all. I don't know why that
What's
jingle.
the Sugar Plum Fairy
I-
song?
People can Google it. I don't know.
Now I lost it because you messed up the whole
Well, you want me to put you in a key of
rhythm.
C?
Yeah. Ready?
Hmm.
Oh,
That's good. We both know the key of C.
that was some harmonizing right
Well, listen,
there.
as a choir boy, since I was the age of 8, I think I know what I'm doing. That's hilarious. Well,
So do you think that's a European thing
Yes,
exclusively is to
100%.
like be dressed up all the time?
I 100%.
Because I remember, so I traveled to Kiev, Ukraine, which is the capital.
Okay. I thought that was next to Washington D.C. I thought
In case you
I
didn't
thought it
know.
was a pho place next to Washington D.C.
And it's a big city. It's
Uh-huh.
like, and I just remember feeling so different. Because even though I don't like usually dress
Oh God!
dressed
Did you wear
down.
sweatpants and
No, but I'm just saying like the level of dressed up, like every girl walking down the street, just down the sidewalk is in like stilettos.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm wearing flats. Is this
Mhm.
okay?
They-
But it's crazy. It's just, that's the
They-
culture there.
They thought you were a peasant.
Yeah.
Like with this.
They look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like just very
Because
dressed
technically
up.
they're about 2 inches taller than you at that point by the time they come to
So they really look down
They
at me.
really do look down at
Yeah,
you.
like everybody's in like, it's like that work office look, whatever.
Business
what's that?
casual?
But it's like business. It's not even that business casual. It's kind of like, because business casual sometimes even implies like jeans.
Do you know how long I was confused about what business casual
It's
looked
really
like?
hard to.
It's such a subjective thing.
It is. Anybody could be business casual. I'm business casual. right
Because
now.
that's exactly the case. That
For
could
me,
be,
yeah.
that could be considered. I remember asking somebody.
Yeah,
I was like, "What's
it-
business casual?"
It's so subjective.
And then I kind of narrowed it down based off the people that I saw, like in
Yeah.
events. Okay, so business casual for a guy could be slacks and a polo. Business casual could be jeans and a polo.
Yeah.
Jeans and a shirt or like a button-up shirt, but
or a t-shirt.
or a
yeah.
t-shirt. Business casual is not shorts, not even golf shorts,
No tank
unless
tops.
unless it's an event, a summer event you could wear. It's so
It's so yeah. It's like it's so much gray area where that you can play with, which I mean is good, but I just that term I don't like it. Yeah, because I'm like I have no idea what that means.
I always thought that business casual was just another collared shirt that you could wear. But
Yeah.
then before that, I thought business casual was like, no, you just dress down. Like wear
Just dress down, yeah.
shorts
Well,
and a
'cause
t-shirt.
The word casual is in there, but then
Mhm.
it's like those two words are oxymorons, right?
Do you think
That's
we can
why it
do
doesn't
that-
work.
Do you think we can do that with like denominations in religion where you'd be like, like growing up, I would say like I grew up Baptist. People go, oh, I was super conservative. But then there's clearly people who grew up like Southern Baptist where they're not that conservative, right?
It's a different
And so
kind
can
of,
you be
yeah.
like, oh, I'm Baptist casual?
Baptist casual, casual Baptist?
You know what I mean? Like we don't, we save ourselves for marriage, but we're
Just look more
we'll-
casual.
We'll get tattoos or something like that. Like I wonder if that's like a Baptist casual.
I mean, you could start it.
I mean, they came out with non-denom, which is
That's
cool.
true.
That's
That is basically business casual
that's
of
a
the
business casual of every denomination.
of the denominations. True.
I like that. See, that's interesting. I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh man, we grew up. But I do think that it's a European thing because I do remember being in Italy and at nighttime we would go to like the city town center, which was basically some kind of like architectural center point in the city. It's a fountain, maybe the Spanish Steps.
Something that's well known.
Well
that
known,
people
and a lot of the
touristy.
the young people would go there and they would just maybe there have a glass of wine in hand because you can do that in the streets over there, and they're all just kind of like just mingling kind of thing, and they're all kind of dressed to impress. Really, it's like the
Yeah.
equivalency of like going to the club in the United States is that's what they were doing, and so
But it's just like on a casual Tuesday, people are
Right.
just dressed up.
I remember my mom, because I was the public transportation that we would be taking would be like if it's like in the evenings, it would be like the metro or something like that, and my mom would always be dressed because it's always going to choir or from choir or something like that.
In Russia?
Yeah.
You still remember?
I still remember. I remember the old.
Your mom's
one.
always dressed though. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
like it's
prime
the
example.
same.
My
Your
mom is
still
50
dresses.
something years old. Like I've never seen her. I've actually never seen my mom wear pants. Let's just put it that way.
Crazy.
It's wild, man. In today's time, like it's wild. Like, but that's the way she was.
My
I mean, that's the
grandmother,
craze.
same. She never wore pants. in her
Valentina,
hair.
shout
Yeah.
out.
Shout out to Valentina. Yeah, she always wear a skirt or a dress, and it was like a very old-fashioned looking.
And my grandfather, till this day, who lives in Seattle and has been in the States since '96, till this day, I've never seen him wear jeans. I've never
He
seen
always
him
wears
wear
slacks,
shorts.
yeah.
He's always wearing slacks. He's always got a button-up shirt on. I've never seen him in a t-shirt. He's always got a button-up t-shirt,
Yeah,
and
yep,
then the
you're
combination is either a sweater, a suit jacket, or a vest,
Yeah, he
like a
always looks
knitted
really
vest.
cute.
And that
Have you ever seen him in swimming shorts?
never. And he's taken us to the pool. I've never seen him in swimming shorts.
He was wearing slacks and a vest.
Underneath his swimming shorts.
Oh my goodness. He's just sitting in the shade.
You know, it'd be hilarious. There has to be a grandpa version, which, by the way, my grandfather is this really sweet man, but there has to be a grandpa version of, you know how you would have the tuxedo t-shirt,
Yes.
but then if you were to merge that with a wetsuit, right?
Yeah.
But like the wetsuit is not as fancy as a tuxedo thing, but just like the knitted
print on
sweater.
it.
The
Yeah.
print is the knitted sweater, the button-up t-shirt, shirt, colored shirt, and then slacks. Like that's the
If you're going to
print
be wearing a
on-
wetsuit,
then-
might as well be wearing that
and then
whole...
over that, you're wearing your swimming trunks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Which
man,
are
that's
another
good.
version of slacks.
Yep, basically.
But that was the time, man. That's the way. It's interesting that people, you and I, adopt change. I think me more than you. I think I've adopted, be like, no, I'm going to recalibrate my perspective. There's a lot of things that you're still hung up on mentally that you're like, no, but that's how I was raised. I
Yeah,
can't.
it's a little bit harder for me
For
to
me, I can erase my
adapt.
mind and be like, no, we can go somewhere
Yeah.
else. But it's interesting that our parents, and I don't know if your parents are part of this category, but like specifically my parents, like they didn't veer off at all.
They just kept that.
They
yeah.
kept my grandfather,
for
my
this
parents,
long.
like, and I wonder if it's is it just a preservation tactic, or is it truly like no, this is just part of my DNA. Like this is where I need to be.
Maybe a little bit of both, because I think your parents came to the States. How old were they? In their 20s?
30s.
They were in their 30s.
They're in their, I think my
Early?
dad said was 30. And so
Okay.
my mom must have been 29 then.
Okay, so they were,
29 to 31.
so they
I think.
lived a really big chunk of their life in Russia. So when you're an adult, I think it's really a lot harder to adapt, to change when you've been established for so long. So I think a lot of it was that they came to the States,
Yeah, but you and I are 30. I'm 33. You're 32.
but we had a long time to like
we
learn to
have,
adapt.
We have, well, I think one thing that we have in common, your and I, my generation, is that we've gone against the grain enough times,
Yeah.
and we've also been exposed to two different types of cultures.
Yes. And that's a
And
big part of it.
Now, there's people that I know that I might have cousins that are like, no, you need to preserve your culture. Like, you can't veer off your culture. And I think those are the people who don't change the perspective. They're not open to ideas, nuances, or anything like that. By the
Yeah.
way, new word.
Nuance.
Did you see that?
Word of the day.
You
I
used
like
it the right
it.
way. You used it the right way. But they're not evolving as human beings in terms of their thinking and their perspective on things.
I think we had it a little bit different because we were exposed to it from such an early age that we saw, both cultures, and we kind of like, you kind of choose which, a little bit from each one.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents, I feel like it's almost, a lot of it is because, they lived such a long period of time and they came to this like new country. Although they wanted to, it's still a lot of like, it's new to them. And I think when you stay in that, culture and those ideas and I don't know what's the word I'm looking for,
Nuances.
your own little
Don't even-
nuances, no, like your bubble, you feel safe in that bubble. And I think a lot of it is that like everybody that moved here found other people who spoke that language, who have that same culture, who believe in the same religion. Like they found those people because it's like a safe place for them to be able to like live.
I have a theory that
New things are scary.
New things are scary, but especially when you've lived a certain lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But our culture was always a culture that preserved, and I don't know if that's exclusive. Like I'm sure other cultures are share the same, struggles. I think that my parents and I guess their equals were, especially when your religion's involved, kind of adopted this perspective that. Again, I'm going to use this word of the day, nuances or
You have to use it at least 5 more times.
progressiveness and new ideas were something that were gonna kind of turn you astray. Like they're gonna lead you they're gonna lead you to destruction. They're gonna lead you to a reckless kind of lifestyle.
I agree.
The old way, where we spent most of our time outside and drank out of the water hoses, and didn't we have TV, and we went to, we had a formula of scheduling where we went to choir on Tuesdays, youth on Sundays, Fridays, 2 services on Saturday and Sunday. When you do that kind of stuff and you never spoke back to or questioned an adult, even when you were a teenager or you were in your 30s, like, you respect the eldership and you hold your tongue, even you don't share your ideas, you don't try to be a smart aleck, you understand that they're right always, regardless. I think that's the like what they cherished, and if you and that was the golden rule, maybe, that if you were to challenge it by any aspect, you were kind of a reckless, wild person.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Headed for destruction.
Yeah.
That's my theory. Might be completely wrong, but
I think that makes a lot of sense. It's that, yeah, like this is the way.
This is the way. Well, think about it right now. Like, you should be wearing, if we were in our culture, you would be right now wearing a head covering right now.
No, you only wear it
to church?
To church.
Oh, to church.
That was another, but that was also more of a progressive thing, because I think for a long time people wore them all the time.
All the time.
And then they changed it to church and when you pray. That was
my dad was praying for breakfast, and my dad made this big point, like, take your hat off, and I was like, oh yeah, forgot, because I'm so used to, like, when somebody's like saying grace, I'll keep my hat on or something like that.
Very interesting that these cultural
but
it's still so prevalent in that culture too.
But
I guess a religion is a really big part of it. I don't think some of it is culture related, but I think such a big part of it is the traditions in the religion
100%.
That have been established.
Yeah, 100%. But I do think that whenever you do challenge, because I think their perspective, every generation, whether it's a cult, because you shared that we both have been exposed to 2 different cultures, European and there was this Western culture, and so we kind of have this kind of perspective, because we have an open mindset on both sides, to objectively look at different perspective, which is the positive, which is the negative,
right.
Like dressing like a slob, going to Walmart, right? Like, I
thought you were going to go with a different SL word.
Just like a slut going to Walmart.
Like, excuse me?
What are you? I've seen you go to Walmart. Okay.
Why are you wearing that really low cut short dress with the slit?
Or are you wearing cocktail dress trying to get pomegranates on Walmart?
Everybody knows getting pomegranates is very sexual, picking them out.
So I think I'm pretty sure the people from my old culture who look at my physical appearances and they see the tattoos, which is a very taboo thing where I come from, I'm pretty sure a lot of them go, well, if only he never questioned these things when he was younger, and if only he didn't.
It is a very
he wouldn't have these tattoos, which is doomed for death.
I do think that's a big you hit the nail on the head. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, you hit it right.
Or is it you hit the nail on the coffin?
On the coffin.
That's different.
Did we ever say that?
No, it's different.
Is that from a show?
No, that's also a term, isn't it?
Hit the nail on the coffin?
I don't.
I've never heard
now I don't know.
I don't know. Well, last time you said it's a flip of a page.
Flip of a page. I like that better than flip of a switch.
Yeah, it's
because there's so many more pages that you can flip.
How quickly are you flipping these pages?
Like this.
Got
to get that finger wet before you flip the page.
Interesting culture.
But I think you're right. Like, I think it just wasn't a thing to question anything when, especially coming to a new country that was so, I guess, nuanced. Taboo.
That's number 4.
But it was true. I remember when we had just moved to the States, I was 3. My mom was 23. My dad was 27. But I went to school. I started kindergarten. And I think it was kindergarten or first grade. My parents, I had so many friends asking me if I could come play at their house, and my parents would never let me. And it wasn't that I don't know their parents. It was
Americans.
Yes.
Which means Americans.
It was Americans. I don't want you to play with them. Who knows what they're like? But if
tattoos.
which is crazy because they you could know. My mom could have met their parents, and like gotten to know them, she still would have not let me stay at their house or even just for a play date, like a couple hours. But she meets somebody at church, never met before. She'd be like, oh yeah, you could spend the night at their house. That's totally fine.
Right now or before?
No, before.
Oh,
Because that was the thing. It was like if you, it was like that religion.
Missionaries that would come in, right?
No, I'm just saying like if she had met somebody at church, like if I met a friend at church, a brand new person, my mom would, my mom probably wouldn't have even met like the parents. She would have still let me go to their house because it was like they're Ukrainian or Russian. They go to church. They must be a good family, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like, it's kind of crazy to even think about, but that's how it was. It was like, no, I wasn't allowed to go to like any, I remember it wasn't until I was maybe in 3rd or 4th grade, I want to say 4th, that my parents finally let me go to like a friend's house for
an American friend's house.
Yeah, for a play date. It was such a big deal.
Did you guys drink Jack Daniels, get tattoos, and
we were so bad,
and smoke cigarettes when you were
when I was what is it? How old are you?
Kyle,
4th grade.
You're the
8,
only
9?
pure-blooded American here. Are we making you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's wild.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's just how it was. But it took my parents a while, but I think they finally kind of let go of those ideas.
Your parents evolved,
and
for
they
sure.
did. Yeah, they adapted. It took
parents-
them a little bit, but they did. They slowly adapted to, I guess, assimilated. if
Now
you
your
will.
mom's drinking Moscatos during dinner. Don't tell your grandmother.
Yeah.
Don't tell
Who's
them
gonna
that.
listen to this podcast?
Who's gonna listen to the podcast? Oh man, culture's wild, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like a lot of people go like, oh, you're multicultural, whatnot, or bilingual. I wish I was. I'm like, yeah, but it comes with messy territory.
Yeah, it is. It is very messy, and it's very like, I still remember, having like friends from church and friends from school, and it was just like such a divide.
Mhm.
There wasn't
Same.
like, so it was very this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard, as a kid to like have two sides. And I remember, like even the language, speaking to my parents in Ukrainian and then like switching, and then over time it was like, then I was talking to my parents in a little bit Ukrainian, a little bit English, and then it just switched completely to English. Because over time, if you're going to be speaking, I don't know, I just heard English more, I guess. But I feel like to you, that never really changed because with your parents, you still speak only Russian.
Only Russian, yeah. I think I'm speaking to them a little more in English now. Like with my
Throw
mom.
in some words.
Yeah, I'll be more because it's so strenuous. Try to find the word that you don't usually use.
So hard.
With you, it's interesting when I've only heard you maybe say like 3 Ukrainian words in the time that we've been married.
Yeah, because I stopped speaking it I was probably like 13 when I was like fully already speaking.
So even
only
when
English.
you jokingly like will say things like "sho," which means like what in Ukrainian, like I'm always like, whoa.
Sounds weird, yeah.
Well, I mean, in a good way. Like I was like, whoa, like where did that come from? But it's.
Do you remember that when we first got married, we used to like jokingly talk in Ukrainian? You don't remember that?
No. Is this the same guy that thought like Swedish
Yes.
fish? Some your other boyfriend.
Alejandro.
Alejandro.
No, I remember we would talk in Ukrainian and Russian, but with like a English accent or I guess American accent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember that?
Maybe.
I feel like it was like a few years of
I
our
could see it
marriage
happening.
in the beginning.
Is it with your cousins and all that stuff, Bob and all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's funny. Maybe, yeah, for sure. Or like with them, yeah. But there'd be always like one word kind of thing. I don't know if I've ever.
It
actually
wasn't
had
like a
sentence.
conversation, but it
Right.
would be like here and there. We would like throw
mock-
around, but we
mock
don't
it.
do it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people always ask like, are you going to teach your kids Ukrainian or Russian? But it's like,
Yeah.
we don't speak it. So how would we
I'm trying to teach them how to fart in public. How do I? Now you're asking if I teach them.
There's
And
too many things we're teaching them.
They're not getting it. How are they gonna get Ukrainian?
They know a couple of words though. It's cute.
Yeah, that's
When your
cute.
parents come and
Yeah.
they kind of like
Yeah, it's
brush
cute.
up on.
Yeah,
a few
I'm
things.
all for them knowing it. It's just I think there's other important.
There's a lot more important pressing matters that we need to teach them.
Seriously. Oh man. Well, that's fun. This has been a fun walk down memory lane. What do you got on current events? Why does it say there's another variant that's out?
You didn't see this?
Now we're on the O's.
Omicron. I don't know how to say it.
Omicron.
Omicron, maybe?
Omicron.
It's a Greek.
What was the last one? Something with
Delta.
Delta? No, there's a llama.
A llama?
Lama? Kyle?
Lambda?
Lambda.
I
Dude,
never heard of that one. It must have not gone anywhere.
Yeah, it's a weak one.
Yeah.
It's where people got double. Never
this
mind. I don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's new variant. People are going kind of crazy. Like they're shutting down, like cities are shutting down. Not I don't think particularly in the U.S. but other countries, because everybody's getting nervous about it. And I think the first place they found it in was South Africa, and so now the U.S. is like limiting flights there to not.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my question about that. Wasn't the original COVID-19 virus? Wasn't the original plan was to limit travel, like international travel?
And they never really.
Trump-
they did for a little bit.
Trump was deemed to be a white supremacist for doing that, right?
And now, yeah.
And now Biden's supporting this kind of stuff, and they're allowing it. No, but now,
Yeah.
okay. But I also thought that the last couple of variants came from South Africa as well.
Really?
Or am I completely wrong about that?
I thought one of them was. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm not
Well,
gonna say.
we have one from China, and then I
Which
thought,
one's that?
oh well, it's
Just a,
the
a
OG,
little- the OG.
the OG. So this one's from South Africa. They're saying,
yeah,
right?
that's where they found the first. But it's weird because they don't really know anything about it. But they say this article's funny because it was like the World Health Organization is warning people of this new variant. Poses a very high global risk because of the possibility that it spreads more easily and might resist vaccines and immunity in people who were infected with previous strains. But then if you keep going down the article, it says, however, it cautions that there's still considerable uncertainty about the virus, including how easily it spreads, how dangerous it is, whether it can evade vaccines and immunity, and how it responds to diagnostic tests.
So,
And so it's like they're
we don't know
basically
anything
saying
about it.
we
We
don't know
found
anything
one
about
strain.
it.
We
Yeah.
don't know anything about it.
So people are going, yeah,
What was the? Do you remember?
people are kind of freaking out, but they don't know anything about it.
Remember 8-9 years ago, they came out with a thing from Africa. It was it it the Zika virus or something else?
That was in South America, I believe.
South America.
Zika, yeah.
It was Zika.
Yeah.
And they got this guy. They quarantined him, and they got the hazmat suits at him. And I don't remember if he was fine. I think he was fine after, and it never went anywhere. So I wonder if this is just like another. Listen, I've called this, and a lot of people call this. Like from now on, this is going to be
Different strains of this, yeah.
There's going to be headlines because they're these news publications. They're trying to get people to pay attention. They're trying to get the clicks. They're trying to get the attention.
The fear of
The fear
the
mongering.
unknown.
That's what
yeah.
they're doing. The fear is what drives things. So for you to go, hey, we found another strain. There's a lot of strains
Yeah.
of a lot of random things.
Yes.
You go to Russia right now, you get something called the crocodile, which is the drug that people use. Like there's wacky, crazy stuff
yeah.
out there. But
But of course, they have to like.
they're putting on the same pedestal.
Yes,
They're
but
putting on
it's
the same.
like, so it looks like first reported last week in South Africa, and now they've seen it in the United Kingdom, Germany, Belgium, Czech Republic, Israel, Australia, and Hong Kong.
So it is spreading.
Seems like it, but they like. How can they tell that it's that specific one so fast?
And
that it's
also,
a
how
different-
convenient that there's another strain.
I know.
Like we've went through how many years
How many
before
strains do
there
you think
was
there
a
will be?
COVID-19 virus, and all of a sudden there is a COVID-19 virus, and now
It's
we
mutating.
have mutating sisters of it. I mean,
I bet there's
Sister
gonna be a lot
wives.
more variants of
sister
it.
wives. Yeah. What letter, if you were to guess, it's gonna land on?
Well, I know the Greek system, so
Is that what they name all the hurricanes after as well?
no, hurricanes are just regular
They're
American
named
names.
after white trashy chicks.
No, because there's like
Hilda.
some Russian ones. There's like Hurricane Ivan. There's
Oh.
obviously Hurricane Katrina. There's
Mhm.
could be Russian too.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason they're naming them Russian names?
Possibly, because we all know where the hurricanes are coming from. I think it's the Russian propaganda that's where they're all coming from. That's wild. So it's called Omnicorn. That's the
Omnicorn. No,
Omni-
it's called Omicron.
Omicron.
Let me look it up. I wonder what that if that's because the Greek like terminology or what is it? Alphabet.
Yeah. You want to see what that?
Omicron meaning. The 15th letter of the Greek alphabet,
Nice.
translated as O.
Wow, you really got to the bottom of this one. Wow, the most viewpoints from the case.
Omicron, yeah.
I
Man,
would have saved your Google.
Would you have said
I would have.
it's just a letter O in Greek?
It's
No,
just
you
a-
wouldn't. You wouldn't have said that.
You thought there's gonna be a meaning behind that?
No, I just typed meaning because it was the first thing that came up. But
Uh-huh.
no, I mean I know it's like a letter because each one
Yeah.
alpha, Greek.
Okay. Okay, this is great. We're not, listen, you and I have zero knowledge of
I know,
anything
now I
Greek.
would look it
So
up.
hey, let's go to the next one. We
Okay.
don't have any
Anyway,
2 cents.
that's a
wild.
big story
So,
today.
and it's already spreading, huh?
Yeah, so it looks like people are starting to
Also, that lady's
shut
wearing a
things
mask
down.
that was basically a scarf. That's a scarf. Is that a scarf?
No, it's mask.
Oh, it's just a floral pattern. Okay.
Yeah, she just got a
I
little,
thought she did the whole
little
thing. where you
pattern on it.
Wrap it around.
Yeah, so I don't know. Now it's saying like, yeah, they'll have to do probably another round of vaccines because.
Oh, because we made so much money already off the first line.
And oh no, it
That's
does.
cool.
The vaccines don't help against this.
Yeah, you need a 4th booster for this other.
Okay, so the
I
next,
wonder if getting boosters, like, I mean, I'm joking right now, but I wonder if like in the future it's gonna be a thing where like, remember when we were kids, where the states that you would travel, you had a magnet on your refrigerators. Like, I've traveled to these states.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they'll be like, hey, I've had 9 out of the
These.
74.
you get like a little you know, like when you do like a
stamp. You got a stamp for it.
yeah, you get like the stamps and you have like a
Collector's stamp.
collection. Yeah,
Oh, did you get the Delta?
it's like
Did you get the Delta booster?
in the,
Got it.
you
right,
get
right.
it laminated
Mhm.
because
It's the new collecting stamps.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
it is.
I like it.
Do you have that one or like cards?
Yeah.
People are gonna trade them.
And then I'm wondering from all these like boosters if people are even going to have an immune system after that. Like, I wonder,
Yeah.
because they're not. The thing is like there's this argument to be made that it's not a vaccine, it's a gene therapy. Because a vaccine, we got the polio vaccines, we got the MMR, we got the varicella, and we don't have that thing anymore because we had like the one shot.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason with this thing, you have to keep getting all
Keep
these shots.
getting-
Is it a vaccine then? It sounds like they're just manipulating your genes for like 6 months.
And then keep getting boosters
Yeah.
for 'em.
Are you getting boosters for your MMR and rubella?
Some of them have boosters, but they do it all
Well, the boosters
in like a year span.
Yeah, not like you're getting a booster every year, every 6 months.
Yeah, I think some of them do have actually boosters that they, but you get them in like a span of like babies
Mm-hmm.
get them.
Yeah.
So we'll see, I guess, how things progress.
Oh my gosh.
It will never end.
I think
This
more
is
people.
where
I think more and more
I
people.
can't believe March is gonna be 2 years.
That's wild. That's so wild.
It's so wild. I can't. I
I
remember
don't
being
think
like, it's
the
only
world-
gonna be like 6 months.
I don't think the world's gonna close down as it did before.
No, because I think people now are like know what to expect and are ready.
Because before everybody was like, I don't know
what it
this
is. Yeah, I don't want to die. Yeah.
Now it's like every person had it, and they're like, so,
This is
well, it's cool.
what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I have a couple. I did see this one. This
Brian
case,
Laundrie.
like
Oh my gosh, you are a forensic scientist. Tell me about what's going on here.
forensic. I'm a true crime
Bri-
junkie.
Brian Laundrie.
So I don't know if you haven't heard the story, which I'm sure everyone has because it was plastered all over everything. But the story about Gabby Petito, who went missing in Wyoming.
I thought it was Utah.
She went missing in Wyoming. They found her in Utah, right? Or was it Wyoming?
Okay.
Anyway, her and her boyfriend or fiance went did the van life.
Mm-hmm,
And so they were like driving through all the national parks and,
and
all
she's
the
a
fun
YouTuber
stuff.
as well.
They started a YouTube channel, and then her parents couldn't contact her for like a week or two, and they got nervous, and were calling her fiance too. He wasn't picking up, but then his fiance ended up back home at his parents' house in Florida without her, and people were like, "What?"
Yeah, he was like, what?
Not
who?
talking to anybody. Hired a lawyer, and people are like, "What the heck? Where is she? Like, what happened to her?" And so her parents were like begging.
Now, there's also some suspicious activity that they've been pulled over before.
Right.
And
There was that whole
he was asking to
footage.
be like, "Can you take me in?" or something like that. Or no, was it? Or is it she was saying like they looked like they were either fighting and one person
She was
like
crying and like, yeah. So the body cam footage of the police officer, it was her like basically saying like, "I suffer from like anxiety and we were fighting and I'm just I have OCD or something," and she just kind of like was making herself seem like it was like her
Mm-hmm.
fault.
Mm-hmm.
That like they were, and I don't know why they were pulled over in the first place, but anyway, there was like 2 fights that went down. One, somebody called the cops on, and then that cop ended up finding the van and pulling them over. Oh, that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so there's that whole like body cam footage that came out after she was already missing, and people were like, it had to have been him. He like did something to her, because you could just tell by their like body language
It was
and the
too
way they
fishy.
talked. Something
Yeah,
looked
she looked
off.
like a victim, and yeah.
And then they end up finding her body.
They did find her body.
Yeah, a
Oh.
long time, like September.
Oh, I thought the body was missing.
He was missing.
He was missing.
So she was missing for like a month.
Uh-huh.
They couldn't find her, and then they ended up finding her body. Maybe not a month, maybe it was like 2 or 3 weeks, but they ended up finding her body in.
Was there like a coroner's report?
Yeah.
What is?
So
theories?
they didn't say anything at first, because they had to do like a full coroner examination.
Mhm.
And they ended up coming back and saying her. At first, they just said her cause of death was homicide, but they wouldn't say how, what the
Mhm.
manner of death was. And then they came out later and said it was strangulation.
It was strangulation.
Because they found her body, like it wasn't in like a river or anything. It was just like in an open like field in the desert, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. And then and all of a sudden he went missing,
Right.
and that was really suspicious, because like he's just all of a sudden gone, and his parents were like claiming, oh, we don't know where he is.
Now, is this suspicious if the signs is strangulation? Why would it be suspicious? It seems like
What do you
case
mean?
closed. Like he strangled her.
Oh yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean by
yeah.
suspicious. Is like, obviously he did it, fled to his parents, didn't know what to do,
Mhm.
and then
Do you think he played dumb? Where's Gabby? Who? Gabby.
Huh? Oh,
Which
we
one is
broke up
she?
a long time ago. Yeah.
She's the one with like really light hair.
What's her name?
Last time I saw her was in the field. I don't know.
But yeah, it was really, really sad, because it was like, all this stuff came out after they
Yeah.
found her. And then anyway, what happened most recently is they couldn't find him for a long time. It was like a month or 2. And finally, a couple weeks ago, they found a body. And at first they didn't identify who it was, but then they identified him, that it was him. They had to go through like dental records, because I guess it was decomposed pretty bad. And then they just ruled that it was gunshot wound, and it was suicide.
Suicide.
So it's like,
Yo.
yeah, he knew he was in big trouble.
Well, I mean, I wonder, was there any suspicion that he was acting wacky, or did he have a history of like domestic violence, or?
Nobody ever like specified, but like she never said anything to anybody, but like people suspect that there was like,
But nothing on
probably
record.
some.
There's
No.
just suspicion.
yeah, besides those like 2 incidents that they had of like fighting in public. And there was people saying that he like either slapped her, or and then she slapped him back. So there was like some physical stuff
Mhm,
definitely going
mhm.
on. But it's really, really sad,
That's wild.
because it's
man.
like he killed her with his bare hands, and
Yeah.
then like ran away, and then
I
and
don't.
ultimately was like, I can't.
Was there any
I'm done.
like did they say like how long they had been together?
It was like a couple of years.
So there's multiple
Mhm.
years. Did they live together before this?
Yeah, they lived. I can't remember. Her parents are from New York, and his were in Florida. And I think they had been living at one point. They lived with his parents.
So,
Both of them.
So being in a van together, living together, that's nothing new. That shouldn't be something that's triggering. It's just this.
Yeah, they've lived together. Yeah,
So just wow.
that's why like nobody thought anything. Yeah, but they're doing the van life. It was just like when her parents couldn't get a hold of her. It was like when things were starting to get like fishy. Oh, I see my
So they
hand.
found it. Did they say where they found the body?
his.
Yeah.
It was like somewhere in Florida, like the
Swamps.
like the swamps
Mm.
areas where he was like hiding, I think. And then isn't that crazy? It's really sad. I feel like
This is a dark one, man. Oh wow.
it was dark, and it was like, played out. I remember like the beginning of September, I think is when it was like when all of it started, and
Yeah.
just now is like when people are starting. But I do feel like it died down, like the hype about it.
Well, Dog the Bounty Hunter was on the case.
Yeah. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I mean, you can't get more serious.
He had a lot of suspicions too.
He didn't get more serious than Dog the Bounty Hunter on the case. You know, it's
yeah. I mean, everybody was posting on Instagram on their stories
Right.
and reposting, and it was crazy. It was just like, I mean, it's good that it got so much attention, but it's like, why this one story of out of all the stories that could happen? Do you think it's because they were already on social media?
Well, I don't know. The way it almost sounds like, maybe I'm wrong, but it sounds like they started a YouTube channel once they got this van life.
They only had one video on
Yeah,
YouTube.
so it sounded like they were YouTubers.
No, they weren't. They started it
Yeah,
during the van life.
everybody has a YouTube account.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, man. I just, just
Something
I think,
spark. Yeah.
Well, I think certain cases, they're just not brought up by people. I'm pretty sure because this is such a mysterious thing,
but there's so many other mysterious things. Like I listen to a lot of the
True.
true crime ones that never get reported, never get like so much any media attention, but they're even more weird and more like, either dark or just mysterious.
Right.
So it's just weird that some come like, even like the whole, there's a few like big ones here. Do you remember over the years?
I also, there's the one in Utah of what's that mom that had her kids missing and then ex-husband died and
that was here in
that was-
Idaho. Lori Vallow.
Valley. I think, here's what I think it is. I think it's kind of like why some YouTube videos work and some YouTube videos don't. I think one person creates a YouTube video and it's a cool concept and idea. The other person who's also a content creator creates something similar to that or reshares it because it's cool. And then now that thing is trending because there's multiple people who are in the big space resharing and sharing or
Just
creating.
it takes like a certain pair of eyes.
You just hit
to be
a
able
wave.
to.
You just hit the wave just right. And so I'm pretty sure, let's say we're going to pick up publishing company, the Wall Street Journal, let's say, reports on this. And then they saw how many likes and comments, engagement that went on it. So I bet you the Associated Press was like, hey, let's run that story too. Looks like it did really well. So they're basing off engagement. So next thing you know, everybody's trying to ride this engagement train. And now everybody, the whole country's
Especially when
talking
it's
about
like
it.
something so, dare I say, nuanced? No, like when it's such a crazy story, people
Sure.
totally ride that.
No conclusion
Yeah.
for sure.
Like what's going to happen. And it's kind of sad that, I mean, sometimes that's.
All right. Well, do you have
People
anything
get all-
more uplifting? Because we got to wrap
No,
this thing up.
the other two are pretty.
No,
this
let's
one's
keep it-
crazy though. So this is why I don't let our kids talk to people on the chatting with video games. There
What
was
is
a
this?
girl taken from her home by someone she was chatting with in a video game.
Was it is that a boy, like a younger boy as well? Like
No.
a 15-year-old boy?
It doesn't say how old. It said more than 10 years older than her. She was 15. It's 15. But anyway,
So
I
he was
guess she was
25.
abducted. And I don't know. I can't figure out if she like willingly left and then was like, shoot, I'm being taken somewhere. Or because it says she took a book bag and her cell phone when she left. But then she like called her mom and was like,
Yeah.
I don't know where I am.
This
Anyway.
is a classic abduction story where the guy becomes her friend on the thing and says, hey, we should go hang out.
Yes.
Hey, well, my parents will never let me
Scary,
go.
though.
Well, it's cool. Like, why don't you just sneak
It's
out?
fine, yeah.
And she grabs her stuff
I'll
and
bring
she
you
gets
home.
there. She gets in the car. She sees he's weird.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh.
But it was like crazy because I think she's from
Is this
remember where
becoming a
she's
true
from?
crimes podcast now?
I know she was taken. So she's in Florida, and I think she was all the way in like Philadelphia or something crazy like that. By the time she like called her mom, was like, "Help me!" But anyway, that's scary. I just thought of that because Jack likes playing video games, and this is the reason. I was like, "This is the reason he cannot talk to other people."
Yeah, yeah. If you don't know their name and I don't know them, you're not talking to them.
You're not. Yeah,
No.
there's no way. So it's
For
just
sure.
kind of like you got to be careful with. Yeah, who
That has
you're-
to be the
but
new parental thing where it's like constantly checking in as a parent and be like, hey,
who
hey,
is
I want you to
that?
know
Yeah.
these are real stories.
I almost want to like talk to our kids
Yeah.
about this so they are aware
Talk to
of
them.
like what could happen. Yeah.
Talk to them. Don't get me involved, but talk to them. Yeah.
Oh, we should both sit down and talk.
Oh, we should. You know what happens when you said we should both? Is me
And
doing the
the dad.
talking, and then you're just there.
Can't wait till you share the birds and the bees
And
with the
then
boys.
you'll say something, and they go, "What's that?" And you go, "Dad, explain it to them."
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not even sure what
You're
that
better
means.
at explaining.
No, I'm not. I'm using word of the days.
Word of the day. Can
Oh,
you
this-
say it one more time? Really
Nuance.
organically?
I want to be careful because what if I don't say the right way? Because you know how you say the word and you're
Yeah.
like,
Wait, and then like the
Nuance.
more you say, it, you're like, wait, was that
Did you
right?
say nuances? Well, nuances.
Nuances?
So I gotta just play my cards while I'm still up.
Yeah.
All right,
You gotta
folks.
do it very
this,
subtly.
This has been really fun. I like this one. This was a good podcast.
Yeah.
This has been good.
It's
A lot of
fun to
people like
share-
some of our background. I've been getting some DMs.
I like that too. And I think I was gonna talk about like Thanksgiving and like the traditions that we've had, maybe on the next one.
Maybe we'll do that for Christmas. How about that?
But we should do Christmas because I think we touched a little bit on it last year. It would be fun to go back and like.
Well, we're doing a double header this week.
Talk about,
maybe we'll do this for the Friday's podcast.
Oh yeah, maybe bring a little bit of that chicken jello in the mix. If you guys don't know what that means, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll share.
Podcast. All right, folks. Follow us on Instagram, Next Door Neighbors Pod. Check us out on watch the thing on YouTube.
Watch
it,
the
share
thing
it.
on YouTube.
Watch this damn thing on YouTube and engage and do the thing. Rate and review if you can. It helps the algorithm.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.